are now listening to Aura Book Review 2021.
Life is like a book. Some chapters are sad, some are happy, and some exciting. But if you never turn the page, you never know what the next chapter has stored for you. Good morning, alright. We all know that now, in this COVID-19 pandemic, we cannot go out to stores and libraries in search of books. But we alrights are really lucky to have our own digital library. Hats off to Miss Rimya Bimal, our librarian who prepared and designed the Aura Digital Library to deviate Aura kids from online games and thus engage them in reading. Thank you, ma'am. Today we are with a new kick-off to motivate Aurites to read more and more by uploading their book reviews through Aura Book Review 2021. Hi Roslina. So today I'll read your feedback from one of our students. I personally think that the idea of online library is amazing, and I have already read the first 5 chapters of the book, Spoil Me 100%. We got this feedback on the same day of the inauguration of the digital library in the evening, and this child read 5 chapters of the book.
Who's this child, Ashwati?
It's Ida. Now it's time to hear the book review by Ida on the book The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, written by L. Frank Baum.
Greetings of the day. This is Ida Sarah Joseph from Grade 8 Aura Global School, and today I am going to be giving you the review of one of my most favorite books, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Dorothy lives with her Uncle Henry and Aunt Em and her beloved little dog Toto on a poor farm in Kansas. When a cyclone strikes one day, she runs after Toto instead of into shelter. The wind carries off the house with them in it and finally drops it again. Coming out of the house, Dorothy is greeted by a grateful crowd of people called Munchkins and a woman who calls herself the Good Witch of the North. The Good Witch of the North explains that Dorothy's house has landed on the Wicked Witch of the East, who's enslaved the Munchkins for years and now they're free. Also, the Wicked Witch's magic silver shoes are now Dorothy's, even though the exact nature of their magic is a mystery. And now, Dorothy has got a lot of acceptance and all sorts of gifts. But Dorothy, all she wants to do is to get herself and back to Kansas before Aunt Em gets too worried, and no one has any idea how to make that happen. The Good Witch says that the Wizard of Oz in Emerald City might be able to help, and thus begins a trip in which Dorothy befriends the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, and quite a few others, and has many adventures. The Old Wizard of Oz is an American classic and will probably astonish those who only know the movie, which took considerable liberties with the story in its adaptation. Author L. Frank Baum tells a good tale, has a lively imagination, and writes from the heart, particularly when it comes to explaining why one would want to leave such a beautiful place like Oz for the barren Kansas prairie. While Dorothy and her friends must endure many hardships in their quest before they reach their happy endings, the plot moves along quickly with plenty of shrewd observations. The book was a huge hit as soon as it was published in the 1900s and was followed by dozens of sequels. This book has given me a lot of morals, such as nothing is more important than family. Love is one of the most important things in the world. Motivation comes from within, and many more. It would be absolutely dreadful for anyone to miss out on such an amazing book. And saying that, I conclude my review. Thank you.
Now, we have another alright, Pooja Biju, to give us a brief on the book Story of My Life, written by Anne Frank.
Today, I'm going to present my favorite books review. The name of the book is Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl. The author of the book is Anne Frank. This is an autobiography of a young girl, Anne Frank, who expresses her thoughts in a book. Her diary begins on her 13th birthday, June 12, 1942, and ends after her 15th. She calls the diary by the name Kitty. Anne is a Jewish girl who stayed in hiding during the World War II to avoid getting captured by the Nazis. She shares her experience and her story during her time of depression. After her death, she becomes world famous due to this diary. The main characters in the book are Anne Frank, her father Mr. Otto Frank, her mother Mrs. Edith Frank, and her elder sister Margot Frank. My favorite part in the book was when the Franks think they'll be found, tension grows, and that portion becomes more exciting. More than 30 million copies of her diary have been sold, and it's been translated into over 67 languages. Otto Frank, Anne's father, survived the war and he published this diary. A great message from this book is that never give up on your dreams. Another message which is especially useful during this pandemic is think of all the beauty still left around us and be happy. I don't think of all the misery, but the beauty that still remains. Anne Frank, thank you.
You are listening to Aura Book Review 2021. It's time for the amazing facts. Do you know that the Harry Potter books are allegedly the most banned books in America due to religious complaints? Virginia Woolf wrote all her books standing. The first book that was written using the typewriter was The Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
It's finally time for the question of the day. Who is the author of Discovery of India? It gives me great pleasure to use this platform on the inauguration of the Aura Digital Library to thank the school for this wonderful opportunity given to the students of this young and great institution. And in doing so, I would like to especially single out our beloved principal, Mrs. Yamini Dilip, our affable vice principal, Mrs. Sumita Santosh, and all our brilliant and awesome teachers for their kind and generous support. This is what makes Aura Global School a truly great institution.
This is Ashwati KR.
This is Rosalina John, and we will be back with some more interesting book reviews. Catch you later and have a nice day ahead.